Hey everybody, good to see you guys again. I see the banner at the top of my screen says kinetic effect, and I am clearly not kinetic effect. Not sure why that's there or how to get rid of it, so we're just going to go with it for now. Just a reminder that today is Monday the 15th and we started curbside today. We're all super excited about that. So happy to see our Willard peeps and to be able to put those books back in your hands. We know it's been a really, really long time. One of the other things we'd like to put in your hands is our summer reading log. So we've got two different logs, one for kids, generally for babies up through elementary age, and the other would be for our teens. So let us know when we're doing curbside if we don't think to ask you what you would like, and we will make sure that those get in your bag. So let's get started. We did Mouse and the Motorcycle yesterday, or I'm sorry, yesterday. Was it just yesterday? No, it was a whole week ago. We read Mouse and the Motorcycle. Oh, look, Miss Alicia fixed me. Hi, this is Read with Miss Beth. Thank you, Miss Alicia. So we did Mouse and the Motorcycle last week, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you went ahead and read it. It's a really cute, fun book, and I just never knew that a mouse could get into so many crazy escapades, but there you have it. He actually does. This week I wanted to change it up a little bit and give you something available on Hoopla, but give you something a little more maybe sciencey, maybe a little more animal-like. Zoe Sassafras, and it is called Dragons and Marshmallows. It is the first book in this series, so there are more. If you love this, we have more that we can get to put in your hands. I'm just paging my iPad through to the book, and we're going to start with chapter 1. These chapters are super short, so although normally I tell you we will just read 3 chapters, it could be a few more, but that's okay because it'll end around the same time as normal. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see better. There we go. This chapter is called Bug Circus. What is it, Sassafras? I crouched down and ruffled my cat's fluffy fur. He was trying to flip over a heavy, mossy rock with his paws. Something was definitely under there. I gently tipped the rock over on its side. Yes! I clapped my hands together. This rock was hiding a treasure. 1 billion roly poly bugs. Okay, maybe not 1 billion, but at least 20. Sassafras took a step forward. Meow. No, don't eat the bugs. That's gross. My cat loves bugs as much as I do, but we love them for different reasons. I love to play with them, and he loves to eat them. Now I just needed to think of something super amazing to do with the roly polies. I held one in my hand, and its tiny feet tickled as it walked. Sassafras trotted over to my pile of stuff and pawed at my thinking goggles. Ooh, good idea, I said as I put them on my head. Most scientists wear goggles over their eyes, and I do too when I need to keep my eyes safe. But when I need to think of brilliant ideas, I wear my thinking goggles on top of my head. That way, they're closer to my brain. So if I have my glasses up here, they're closer to my brain. Do you think they help me think? They don't help me see at all, so I'm going to put them back on my face. The roly-poly on my hand walked across a bridge I'd made by touching the tips of my 2 pointer fingers together, just like that. I've got it. Let's make a bug circus. I bent some thin twigs into hoops for the bugs to crawl through, and then I set up some small round rocks for them to balance on. Next, I tied some grass on either end of a flat piece of bark to make a swing that I held low to the ground in case any of my performers fell off. My favorite part was the tightrope I made by balancing a long twig between 2 flat rocks. One of the biggest roly-polies crawled up to the twig tightrope. I got down on my elbows in the soft grass to cheer him on. Come on, little buggy, you can do it. Almost. No! He tumbled onto the grass, and then another one followed. The bigger roly-polies were having too much trouble. I carefully plucked the smallest of the roly-polies from the ground. Okay, little guy, you might be the smallest, but I think you can do this. Show me what you've got. I held the tiny roly-poly on one end of the twig. As he crawled along, I held my breath and didn't let it out until he was across. He made it! I jumped up, cheered, woo! And looked around for my mom. Then I remembered she was inside packing. I was so used to her being out here with me. Mom is gonna love this. Let's get her, Sassafras. Come on. I glanced over my shoulder just in time to catch Sassafras creeping toward my circus performers. No way, Kitty. You're coming with me. I do not trust you out here with my bugs. My new little friends are not snacks. Sassafras gave me a stinky look, but he gave in and followed me. As we got close to the house, I spotted my mom in the window, but she wasn't looking at us. She was looking at our old barn and holding a photo. What do you think she's looking at? What do you think is the photo of? She's looking at the old barn and looking at a photo. That'll be interesting. And who loves roly-polies? I know I do. And my kids, when they were little, they would pop up all the rocks around my flower bed. I did not love that. But they would pop up all the rocks around my flower bed and look for roly-polies and play with them and then put them back. So cute. Roly-polies are so much fun. If you haven't done it, you've got to get them. They tickle when they walk on you. Okay, chapter number 2. The mystery photo. Ooh, we're going to find out what that's about. Sassafras and I burst into my mom's office. She jumped and quickly hid the photo under a pile of papers before smiling at us. Mom, Sassafras found 1 billion roly-polies under a rock in our yard, and I wasn't sure what to do with them, but then I used my thinking goggles, and we made a circus with a tightrope and everything. Can you come, please? That sounds wonderful, Zoe. I'm almost finished getting ready for this trip. Can you give me 5 more minutes? I shrugged and leaned on her desk while Sassafras wove through my legs. I was trying to act like I didn't mind her leaving for a trip, but maybe I felt a little nervous about not seeing her for a whole week. I was also curious about that photo she stashed away so quickly. As she packed, I poked at her papers and scooched them around. Whoa! What was that? A purple glow came from under the pile of papers. I pushed the top papers aside and gasped. In the photo was my mom when she was around my age. She was grinning with 2 missing teeth with a purple frog on her head that was glowing. I almost dropped the photo. Mom glanced over her shoulder. What is it? I held out the photo with a trembling hand. This photo, the frog, it's glowing. How? Mom spun around so fast that some of the papers she was holding fell and scattered on the ground. You see Pip? Pip? Who was Pip? What on earth was going on? Pip. Did you guys know that Pip was in the photo? No, you couldn't have known that. You haven't read this book either, have you? No, Pip was in the photo, and the mom was young, and she was missing teeth, and Pip is purple. Why does the mom think why does the mom think that Zoe can't see Pip? Let's find out. Chapter 3 is called Pip. Mom was still frozen in place. She whispered, I never thought. I was sure. I was so sure. I was the only one. She finally snapped out of it and sat down at her desk. Sorry for acting strange. Come sit. I'll try to explain. Mom shook her head once more and smiled at me. I sat down slowly. I was super confused. A glowing frog that only my mom could see? My stomach flipped and flopped. I picked up Sassafras and gave him a squeeze. He settled into my lap and purred, which calmed me down a little. I seriously hoped that all of this would start making sense soon. Zoe, remember how this used to be Grandma and Grandpa's house? I nodded slowly and kept petting Sassafras as my heart thumped loudly. When I was your age, I spent hours wandering in the forest. One day, I was tossing rocks into the stream when I saw something shimmer in the sunlight. Oh, the purple frog? I guessed. Mom nodded. His bright purple skin was covered head to toe with neon orange spots. I'd never seen anything like it. I was sure I'd discovered a new species. I nodded again. I love frogs, and I'd never seen a frog that looked like that. The poor thing was crumpled on the ground, barely breathing. I knew it must be very sick or hurt. I had to help it. I carefully scooped it up and held it close. I found an old empty fish tank in our barn and got to work figuring out what was wrong. Books helped a little, but I needed to run some simple experiments too. I used what I learned from experiments to help the frog recover. Once he was better, I knew I had to return him to the forest. I reached into his tank and he hopped right into my hand. As I lifted him out, something incredible happened. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I could tell my mom was about to say something big. My mom is a scientist, so she sees crazy things all the time. And if this was the craziest thing she'd ever seen, then it must be incredible. I leaned in, scooting so far forward that Sassafras slid to the ground with a whoomp. I quickly scooped him back up. What happened? What did you see? The frog looked me in the eye, smiled, and said, "Thank you." I clapped my hand over my mouth. What was going on? Was my mom playing a joke on me? She seemed pretty serious, but a talking frog? Really? It just couldn't be true. I was so shocked, my mom continued. I almost tossed the poor frog into the air. "Whoa," he said. "Steady there, little girl. Don't be afraid. My name is Pip, and I'm so grateful for all your help." Here I had to interrupt. "But Mom, this is crazy. Frogs can't talk." Mom patted my knee. "That's what I thought at first too. But the frog kept on talking. I wasn't dreaming. I wasn't imagining things. There really was a frog named Pip talking to me." My hands shook so much that I set Pip on a table for his own safety. He told me he'd been out past dark looking for something he'd dropped during the day, and an owl attacked him. He was terrified and hurt, but managed to escape. He didn't remember anything after that until he woke up in our barn. Once I recovered from the shock of it all, Pip told me that there are lots of magical animals in our forests. Humans don't usually see them. He asked if I'd help others like him who were hurt or sick. I agreed, of course. Pip spread the word about me and the barn after he left. And I've been helping the magical creatures of our forest ever since. A big smile spread across my face. This was incredible. The only thing I might love more than science is magic. And my mom was telling me there was magic right here in our own backyard. Well, that's pretty cool. Magic in the backyard. Now, I've never found any magical creatures in my backyard. Have you found anything in your backyard, magical or not? I have found bunnies. We almost always have rabbits running in our backyard. One time I found actual little bunnies. We had a nest back behind our garage, and I had no idea it was there until my little dog found it. And then I did what Miss Katie had told us from Lila Arboretum. I put the bunny back, and I sprinkled flour all around the area so that I could tell if the mama went back and was still feeding her babies. And the next day I checked, and she was. So that was happy. But bunnies are cute, and yet they're not magical. And we had kittens once in our garage from the neighbors because we don't have cats. But we found kittens in our garage, but nothing magical. Darn, maybe next time. Chapter 4, the doorbell. I was so excited and I had so many questions. Why is purple light coming out of the photo? Because of the magic? And how come I've never seen any of the magical creatures? Do they still come here? They still come here, right? They do, right? Where do you keep them? And are there some here now? Mom laughed. Phew, okay. Let's see here. Yes, the photo glows because of the magic. Anytime you photograph a magical creature, some of the magic stays in the photo. That's why it glows. Okay. When a magical animal does need my help, I keep it in our barn. And finally, no, there aren't any magical animals here right now. Sometimes no one needs my help for weeks at a time. This will all make more sense once I've shown you the barn. Come on. As Mom and I walked out to the barn together, I laughed to myself. I never played there because I thought it was super boring. Boy, was I wrong. Mom led me around to the back door of the barn. Before he left for the forest, Pip added a special doorbell to our barn's back door. I thought I was the only one in the family who could see it, but I'm guessing you will be able to see it too. Well, that's exciting. Sassafras interrupted my mom by meowing loudly. Mom laughed. Oh, yes, I should add that clever animals like sassafras can see it as well. I knelt down and looked all over the back wall of the barn, but I don't see anything. Try lying down on your stomach. Now a little to the left and down just a tiny bit. Do you see it? The grass tickled my neck as I lowered my head a little more. All of a sudden, I could see a round button. It looked like a regular doorbell, except this one shimmered in a wave of rainbow colors. I moved my head up a bit and it disappeared. Whoa. No wonder I've never noticed this before. Although, now that I thought about it, I might have at least heard it before. Every once in a while, the most beautiful tinkling sound would come from my mom's office. She always told me it was an alarm on her phone reminding her to do something. I guess I never thought to ask what. Magical creatures, a special doorbell. This just keeps getting better. That bell that rings in our house sometimes, is that the barn doorbell? Yes, that's it. I never know when I'll hear the bell, but whenever I'm home, I'm always listening. Well, what about when you're gone? What happens then? Well, all I can do is hope that I'm here when the bell rings and an animal needs me. I remembered my mom standing in the window looking out at the barn. She must have been worried about what would happen while she was gone at this conference. Maybe I could help. You're going to be gone for a week. That's a long time. If an animal rings the bell while you're gone, do you think maybe I could help them? I looked down at my feet and poked the ground with my toe. I mean, I'm just a kid, but I could try. Mom smiled. I was hoping you'd suggest that. Are you sure? It might be a lot to handle, though you could always call me if you needed help. I nodded and stood up a little straighter. Mom put her hands on my shoulders and kissed my forehead. Now I won't have to worry while I'm gone. thank you. My stomach did flips. On one hand, I was super excited to meet a magical animal. And on the other hand, I was worried that I wouldn't know what to do. I didn't want to mess up. But my mom was my age when she helped Pip. A kid had done this alone before, which meant I could handle it, right? Do you think she can handle it? I don't know. I think just maybe, mom was that age. And she's got her thinking goggles and the roly polies and her sidekick sassafras. I think you could probably do it, don't you? I think you could. Let's read one more chapter. The Barn. Mom opened the door and we stepped inside. The barn felt different, magical. It was like I'd never seen it before. Now I knew it held secrets. These cabinets hold the medical supplies I've gathered over the years, Mom said. And over here are some books that you might find helpful. There aren't any books about magical animals, but you'll find that magical creatures and everyday animals are often similar. Once I had a sick winged fox, and it helped to read about both birds and foxes. Sometimes you'll need to run an experiment to figure out what the animal needs or what will work best. You can look through my old science journals over there to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. My heart beat faster. As soon as she was done with the tour, I was heading straight for those journals. My breath caught. There'd be more magical photos in there. I could hardly wait to see them. I interrupted her. So if I hear the bell, I run out here, and the animals will be at the back door. And I bring it inside and try to figure out what's wrong. Mom nodded. Some of the animals can speak, like Pip, but most can't. Remember, you can use the books and my old journals to help you. This must seem like a lot of responsibility, but I know you'll do your best. Do you have any questions? My mind was spinning, but I shook my head no. If Mom believed I could handle this, I could. I hoped. And if things got too tricky, I could ask Dad to help. Oh, wait a minute. Mom hadn't mentioned Dad at all. That was definitely strange. What about Dad? Can he help me? Your father can't see any of the magical animals. Until you saw Pip in that photo, I thought I was the only human who could see them. Mom shook her head sadly. I tried to introduce Pip to your dad once, but he couldn't see him or hear him. Whoa, so this was definitely all up to me. Mom kissed me on the head. I've got to go, but I'll see you in a week. I'll let Dad know you're out here before I leave. Wait, I piped up. If a magical creature comes, do I get to take its picture? I was pretty sure that one of the best parts of this whole thing was going to be collecting magic photos. Mom laughed and opened one of the desk drawers. Here's my camera. You're free to use it, but since it's instant film, you can't take too many photos or it'll get really expensive. Only take one of each animal, okay? Oh, and here, she dug around at the bottom of the drawer, a brand new science journal, just for you. I wrapped my arms around my mom and gave her a big squeeze. I was glad to have the stuff in all the cabinets and drawers and Mom's old science journals to distract me. It made saying goodbye much easier. I set my thinking goggles on the barn desk and grabbed the pile of science notebooks. I spent the next few hours with sassafras curled up in my lap as I flipped through all of them. The photos were so incredible. I flipped to a page with a creature that looked like a flower. I leaned in for a closer look, and the scent of roses filled my nose. A few pages later, I found a photo of something fluffy and blue that was shaped like a snake. I brushed my fingers over the photo, and I could feel its soft feathers. This was going to be so much fun. I could hardly wait to see what creature I'd get to meet first. Okay, I know I said one more, but I really am going to do just one more. They're short and we have a few minutes left. And I really, really want to see what shows up at the back door of the barn. Are you with me? Can we do one more? Okay. The doorbell rings. The next day, I stayed right by Mom's office listening. Nothing happened. The day after was the same. Not a peep from the bell. But on the 5th day, there I was reading on the couch when, at long last, I heard the magical tinkling sound. I popped up so fast, I catapulted Sassafras out of my lap. He went flying through the air and let out a yelp, but landed on his feet. Sassafras gave me a grumpy stare, but then his ears turned toward the bell. He heard it too. We both darted for the barn. We couldn't wait to see who needed our help. At the back door of the barn, I paused to listen. I was completely silent, except for the pounding of my heart. I grinned down at Sassafras. Ready, kitty? He meowed and pawed at the door. I took that as a yes. I slowly opened the door to find a small, green, scaly animal curled up in a tight ball. I heard a rustling in the bushes and glanced up in time to see a shimmery blue tail disappear into the forest. Maybe another animal had brought this one here for help. Hello? I called out, but nothing answered, and the mysterious blue animal didn't come back. I gently reached down to touch the smooth green back of the little creature curled up at my feet. As I did, a tiny head peeked out. Oh, I whispered. You are so cute. Two sad eyes stared up at me. Don't worry, little guy. We'll make you feel better. I scooped him into my arms. Sassafras anxiously wove between my legs as I carried the animal into the barn. I set him down on a wood table. You're kind of heavy for such a little thing. I gave him one more gentle pat. He slowly stretched, and two little wings and a long tail popped out. He was a dragon, and he was so tiny. He just had to be a baby dragon in my barn. Hi, little guy. What's wrong? I don't see any scrapes or cuts, but you wouldn't be at the barn if you didn't need help. He seemed pretty weak. After looking around, he dropped his head down to the table and just lay there. Sassafras hopped onto the table and gave the dragon a good sniffing. The baby dragon's head popped up and he let out a little cough. A spark flew out. Sassafras shot through the air and landed on the ground with all his fur standing on end. Yikes! I needed to move this guy before he coughed again. I need to find a place to keep you that won't catch fire. I looked around the barn. Let's see. Wood, fabric, and hay all burn easily. Bingo! Let's put you in this pen with a dirt floor. If you cough again, the dirt won't catch on fire. Phew! Tucking the baby under my arm, I quickly moved him to the pen. Sassafras hung back and watched us from outside the pen. My kitty was no longer so sure he wanted to cozy up to our new friend. So, it was a dragon. Wow, have you ever seen a real live dragon? I have not, and I'm kind of wishing that I was Zoe right now. I would love to see a live dragon, especially a cute little baby one, but he's sick, so he's got a cough. I would be really worried that he'd set my barn on fire. I think it was super smart that she put him in a pen that's all dirt, don't you? I think that was really smart. Now, the name of our book is Dragons and Marshmallows. So I'm wondering where the marshmallows come in. Do you think that's some sort of treatment? Do you get marshmallows when you get a cold? Maybe you should talk to your mom about that. Sorry, Mom. I wanted to let you know of all the other things that we're doing at the library this week, but there's so many that I can't possibly list them all to you. So first, I just want to say thank you, my friends, for coming out and sharing a story again with me today. I hope you really enjoy it. I told you it's on Hoopla. You can do that on pretty much any device you'd like to. So I hope you enjoy reading it. Let me know what you think. You can always find us on Facebook, ask us any questions, any concerns, any thoughts about the books that you might have. And then just to let you know, a quick little rundown of things we're doing. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and that means we're doing a STEAM program with Miss Katie from Lila Arboretum. I know you know her and love her, so tune in if you can. She'll be live at 11. If you can't watch it at 11, make sure you get on here and you're able to watch it sometime this week because you don't want to miss the cool stuff she's doing. And later tomorrow at 4 o'clock, it's going to be surprise story time with Miss Stephanie. And if you know Miss Stephanie, like I know Miss Stephanie, you have no idea where she might be because even I don't know where she's going to be, but I know it'll be a good time. So that's at 4 o'clock. So again, if you can tune in live, great. And if not, tune in whenever you can because it's not going anywhere. It's right on our website. Wednesday afternoons is Afternoon Adventures with Miss Alicia and Miss Nikki. So they did some crazy Diet Coke, Mentos, Geyser thing yesterday or last week, which is super fun. And you don't want to have missed that. So if you didn't get to watch it, make sure you check that out and then check out what they're doing on Wednesday. Thursdays, I'm going to be right back with you, only we're doing baby time Thursday morning at 11. Miss Courtney does mindfulness at 4 o'clock on Thursday, and then we're going to call the day a wrap with Miss Angela, who's going to read us all a bedtime story. So thank you, friends, for tuning in this week and sharing a little story time with me. I miss you all, and I can't wait until we can all be together in the building. But this is the next best thing, and I'm just so thankful for all of you. So I will see you next week, if not before. Bye.